we can move on to the AFC North if you want to give us the rundown on them.
Okay, so the Steelers are my favorite team, so I guess I'll start with them. I actually have a lot of faith in them this year. Of course, it all rides on Big Ben's health, and his
Mm-hmm.
off-season workouts doesn't really impress me the way that they've said that he just doesn't really work out in the off-season. That worries me a little bit, especially coming off injury. But I do like their talent. I think Juju will have a good year this year. I mean, he kind of needs to if they want to keep him and extend him for longer. Then he needs to play well. People are hating a lot on Chase Claypool, their draft pick. A lot of people don't like it. I like it just because he's a big receiver who can catch jump balls, and I mean he for Big Ben to be able to have a target that he can just lob the ball up to. I think he's a good fit, and he's really tough, and I think that's what the Steelers need. They have some speed and like James Washington and Deontay Johnson, guys like that. But Chase Claypool gives them that big body receiver, as well as Eric Ebron. So I really like them. Their defense is coming together pretty good. I think their schedule is not actually that hard. In my opinion, I don't think it's that hard. I think they could go 9-7 or 10-6 this year and compete with the Ravens. And the Ravens, of course, I mean they're the best in the division for sure. And they had a great draft. They drafted Patrick Queen, who's a really good linebacker. So they just have a really solid team overall. I think Lamar Jackson will be shut down a little bit more this year, but I still think it's going to take another year for him to totally be figured out. So I think he'll have a pretty good year this year, and I think they'll still be around that 9-7, 10-6, maybe 11-5. So it's going to be close between. It might come down to that Ravens-Steelers showdown again, like it kind of has before. And then the Bengals. Well, I'll start with the Browns. The Browns, I think I still don't trust Baker Mayfield. I know he's been really good before, but he's also been bad. And I don't know. I don't know about the Browns. They're a team that's so talented. They have so much talent around everybody. I just can't trust them. So I'm just going to say they'll probably be a couple games behind Steelers in that division. Maybe, I don't know exactly where. And then the Bengals, I think, are just with Joe Burrow. It's going to take a while. Maybe not a while, but at least this year, and maybe probably another year for them to totally keep rebuilding. So that's what my opinion is.
Yeah, the Bengals, I'll go sort of backwards from what you did. I like the Bengals. I love their draft picks. I'm not saying they're winning anything, and they'll get a couple of games, and I actually like their offense. I love Zach Taylor. Joe Mixon's good. They're getting back their left tackle that they drafted in the first round last year.
That's true.
And I think that's massive. They also have a sneaky offensive weapons. They have AJ Green, who he's on the down years. He has a couple of years left in him, but if he had a whole year of rest pretty much last year. You still have Tyler Boyd, he's a top end wide receiver too on a team, and they have John Ross as a third wide receiver, and that's a good trio right there. And they have some quality depth. Their defense is okay. That's definitely could use improvement. I like they signed a defensive tackle from the Texans. They also do have Geno Atkins, and they also have they have some defensive end. They have talent, but they're not going anywhere. And I love their draft. The Browns I actually like this year. I think they're a 9-7 team, and I think they could compete. It's one of those that the floor is a 7-9. I feel confident about saying they can go 7-9. But I also believe that they could boom and they could go 11-5. I genuinely believe they could. They got a new coach, so we don't really know how it is. Maybe Baker, I don't know. Maybe the stars align. They have so much talent, and hopefully we get to see that talent actually used. The Ravens are the Ravens. They're going to be, I think, a little higher than Nick does about the Ravens. They're an 11-5 team. Also, the AFC North schedule is a breeze. That schedule's a joke, to be honest. They face pretty much, I believe they face the AFC East, and they face the NFC East, I believe. So they face the Redskins, the Cowboys, and all them. So that's a really easy schedule on top of what they already have to play.
Yeah.
So I think by default, that gives the Ravens 11 wins. I think Lamar actually recedes, but I think their team is going to be more well-rounded. You have a 9% touchdown ratio. You don't repeat that really.
Yeah.
Even Pat Mahomes went down a little bit. Deshaun Watson after his first year went down. Lamar Jackson's is going to go down. Carson Wentz's went down. Russell Wilson's went down. It's one of those things in the NFL that's a guarantee. And his ratio is going to go down as teams start to figure him out. And as players are drafted in the division in order to counter his play, because teams are looking, oh crap, we have to play Lamar 2 times. We better get players to stop him. And I think they did that. And I still think they're a great team, and I think they're Super Bowl contenders. The Steelers, again, I think they benefit from an easy schedule. I also do believe they can compete with the division. It's one of those things where I think they can win the division, but I don't think they're the best in the division, I guess.
Yeah.
I love their defense. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Offense is really where it's going to make or break of the season, where I genuinely believe they could go that 6-10, 7-9 route. With if the offense is just not clicking, I don't know. They have injury issues with Big Ben, James Conner. They really only got Juju, and if the other wide receivers are really unproven, James Washington was all right. It just is a lot of unproven. So I like this team.
Yes.
Oh, one more thing. We didn't talk about this. We talked about this before we started recording, but Earl Thomas and that situation.
Yeah.
We just bring it into here.
Jeez.
I know the Ravens considered cutting him. I don't know if it's going to happen. If they did, honestly, that's massive to their team, and I think their defense will hurt a ton if they don't have Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they get one less of a win, but I definitely would be a lot more skeptical on giving them wins like a win. So
Yeah.
liberally.